Hi, welcome to another programming exam solution tutorial for Capture the Sarrum. This is for the 2015 AQA Com 1 exam, and this time we're going to have a look at the equivalent of the chess situation check, i.e. declare if the Sarrum can be captured. Possibilities. The one we're going to look at is the easy one, and that's simply declare at some stage if the Sarrum can be captured. And the one we're going to look at is specifically at the start of your move. If your Sarrum can be captured the next move, you get a warning, nothing else. I have coded some slightly trickier ones so that you get warned if you're moving into check, and the really interesting one where you don't actually allow a player to move into check. So just like you check a valid move, you also check for potential check. However, that is not too hard to code, but it makes the game unplayable because effectively you can never capture the Sarrum. So then you've got to create a new ending, and anyway, but that's not what we're going to do today. This first one, the easy one, simply declare at some stage if your Sarrum is in check, I think is nice and doable, and if you can do that, you should, especially if you know how to undo a move, you can move on to the trickier ones. So let's have a look at our strategy. First of all, we need to know where the Sarrum is. Just because the Sarrum is now in check doesn't mean that was the last one to be moved. If you know chess, there's any, an opposition piece could have been moved, your own piece could have been moved. There's numerous options. So what we're going to do is we're going to find the Sarrum position, and we're going to do a simple linear search. I'm not even going to optimize it, we're just going to search the whole board and return the Sarrum position. Then we're going to ask, is there a legal move that ends up on the Sarrum position from an opposition piece? I.e., could the Sarrum be captured? And we're going to check every single piece square on the board. We're only going to bother asking the question if there's an opposition piece in it, and we're just going to use check move is legal. So if you've already had a go at my tutorial for show valid moves, or show legal moves I should say, then it's the same strategy. Then if the Sarrum can be captured on the next move, i.e. there is a legal move from an opposition piece with the Sarrum as the final square, then we're going to output a message. Sarrum is in check. Right, let's have a little look at the solution. I'm not going to bother coding it live in front of you, I've just got the whole thing there and I'm just going to talk you through it. So, let's move the distractions out of the way. I've created a new procedure. You'll notice it is a procedure rather than a function. I could have returned a true or false, and we could have had the output message above, which actually is how most of the rest of the game has worked. But I just decided to do it as a procedure. We only need two things. We just need to be past the board in its current state, and we need to know whose turn it is. Then from there, I need to create a couple of local variables. Sarrum rank, Sarrum file. Hopefully you can work out that they are going to hold the rank and file, and I don't really need to do this, but just made my code more readable. I want to create a new character variable which is going to hold the opposition, and as you can see, if whose turn is white then opposition is black. Oh, before I forget, I've put this code that you're about to see at this paste bin address, so if you want to just, as we get near the exam, I'm aware that people have been asking for my code just so they can get in and play with it without having to code it from the screen. Of course, more than happy for you to have it. There's my paste bin. I don't really make my paste bin secret, so once you've got my name from that, if you have a search for Sarrum under my name, then you'll find all the other codes as well. So let's have a little look at this first little bit. This is just a simple linear search of the board. As you can see, I've got a nested loop, 1 to 8, 1 to 8. These are self-creating variables in the for loop, so I don't need to declare them above. And what we're saying is that if a particular element of the board, if the 0th element of that string held within that element, and this is, if you're not familiar with this notation, it is used elsewhere in the code, if that is the current whose turn it is, i.e. black or white, B or W, and the other character within that element of the array is an S, then that must be the current Sarrum. If we do that, we're just going to assign the current rank and file from this loop to Sarrum rank and Sarrum file. This is not mahoosively efficient because it's going to always search the 64 squares even if it finds a Sarrum on the first square. I guess it should be a do loop, and I guess I should be incrementing those within the do loop, but there is this sort of inefficiency elsewhere in the code, and it's very, very, very obvious what it's doing. So I know how inefficient it's going to be. I know how many times it's going to run, so I'm going to sacrifice a little bit of potential inefficiency for clarity of code. Right, we now know where the Sarrum is. We then go back to the code that we've used in the past. I'm going to loop through the board again, and this time, move that out of the way, you can see that we're going to ask this question. We're going to say that if that colour character from the element of board, if that equals opposition, so in other words, it's now, if we were white here, we're now black, so it's now the opposite colour to whatever Sarrum we've just found. And as long as it's not a blank, so I don't really need that, do I? Because I've got equal opposition. Obviously changed my mind here, just realised that I don't really need the and, because if that first character equals opposition, and then it can't equal a blank, so let's get rid of that. That's silly. The next question we've got to ask is check move is legal from that particular position where the opposition piece is to, so that's start rank, start file, to Sarrum rank, Sarrum file. And I'm just calling check move is legal. If I just do that and put this in place, oh, of course it's part of this statement, just don't want to put it, oh, there we go. So you can see these are the parameters that check move is legal wants. It wants the board, when I'm giving it that. It wants the start rank, well that's the current rank and the current file, start rank, start file, and the finish rank, finish file is the Sarrum rank, Sarrum file. Now I've been a bit cheeky here, because here it's asking for whose turn it is, but of course I want to test this for the opposition piece, because it's the opposition piece that could be taking my Sarrum. Now if that's true, all we're going to do is output this. We're going to do nothing else. We're just going to say you are in check. There was a bit of me that said, wanted to, I mean, it would be very easy to concatenate whose turn is in check, white is in check, just to be uber clear. But it's going to be displayed at a point where it can only be interpreted one way. And I thought we might as well display the board as well, just so we can see it a bit more clearly. So let's see where we're going to actually put that in place. Right at the top, bang. So I've put it here. So we've initialized the board, and before we've even got a move, because if you think about it, for that sample game, black is in check, if we're going to call it that, before it's even moved. So we actually want to perform this check right at the start, before a move's even been made. so that player gets warned if they're in check right from the word go. And we can see that we can quite validly pass the board and whose turn at this stage. Right, let's quickly test it. Yeah, we'll play the sample game, and we are going to white's turn. So let's just move white's Sarrum down one, so that's 1-3 to 1-4. Makes no difference. It says now it's black's turn, and you can see straight away it's saying you are in check. And the reason why it's saying you're in check is because white's Gizgagir could take it. I'm not going to bother moving that. I want to move something else. I'm going to move black's Redham down one just to move it for the sake of moving it. So that's 8, 6 to 8, 7. Notice that it hasn't put white in check. I'm going to deliberately put white Sarrum here so it'll be in check from the black L2. So that's 1, 4 to 2, 5. Bang. Black's turn. Well, we're still in check. Let's move the black Sarrum out of check just so we can test that. So I've got 4, 1 to 4, 2. Now look, white is in check. Again, I want to leave white in check just to test it. And I'm just going to move the Redham down again. Oh, doesn't really matter, does it? Move black L2s across too, I think, for the sake of argument. That's 8, 3 to 6, 3. I really recommend having a good practice moving stuff around this sample game before the exam, because 8, 3, 8, 3 to 6. That was a legal move. Come on, blacks, go on tight. White's done. Oh, mop it. Sorry. I'll just move white's Redham up on them. So that's 1, 2 to 1, 1. 1, 2, 1, 1. Sorry about that. Oh, look, black isn't in check. So let's move white's Gizgagir down. 8, 1, 8, 2. So 8, 1. It's black's turn. Oh. Let's move the Redham down. 8, 7. Sorry about this. 8, 8. So we get a marzipan. So the white's still in check, and we'll end it there. So let's move 2, 3, 2, 2, 5. That should end the game. No, it hasn't. Joy. I'm going to quit it there. I'm going to quit one behind. It's too late. So I really hope that you have found that useful. You've seen how to put check. You've seen that I need to practice playing the sample game, and that is all you need to know. If you want anything else in these last few weeks, please feel free to add comments to the YouTube channel. I hope you found this useful.